His face that way. Thanks for coming, folks. I'm Doco, a good mate of Pat's. Well, I used to be. Now, one thing about tonight is, which I'm pretty sad about, is Pat's mum couldn't be here. Margaret. Yeah, Margaret, a wonderful woman.
Here all day.
I went around today to see her. I went and said g'day to her, and I thought I could bring her out, and they said, you can't. Pat doesn't want her at the party. I thought, shit, that's a bit rich. And I said, oh, I'm really sorry about that, Margaret. And she goes, look, I'll give you a couple of things to take to the party. You're the son I always wanted. And I'll tell you how he got his nickname. And I said, what nickname's that? And I said, when he was a baby, Pat, Joe, Pat Senior, Joe and Margaret had little Patty. And when they went to change the first nappy, got him out on the bed, and he'd done this massive turd. And they went to throw the nappy in the washing machine, as they did back in the day, and Margaret heard a bit of a clunk. And went, shit, what's that? And she opened it up, and there, in the big poo, God damn it, was a gold nugget. And bugging me dead. That's where the name Gold Nuggets Gaffney comes from. Now, I didn't really know that was his name. But she swore that that's what they called him from there on. Now, obviously, there's been some amazing nuggets come into Pat's life. Obviously, Sonia, a massive gold nugget. Ella, another huge, beautiful gold nugget, Ella. Benoit, gold. And then they got the third, and Pat looked at it and thought, are you sure it's gold? He drinks all me beer. He eats all me food. He argues incessantly. Are you sure it's gold? And I said, Patrick, I've met Finn. The guy is solid gold. It's just that he happens to remind you a bit of yourself.
Very true.
But one thing about Pat, he has managed, as has been alluded to, that wherever he goes, he lays nuggets. Like Nebs, who was here, bought Pat's business off him for some astronomical amount. No. It was. And what did he get? He got 2 broken down trailers with a rotten old pizza oven on it that didn't work properly. His tatty old apron, which he didn't really want to get rid of, and a couple of handmade pizza trays, which were already used. And then he charged him rent for the kitchen. It was raining nuggets that day. Fucking, they were everywhere. Unbelievable, the poor fella. And talking about Facebook, because Pat, for an older guy, does know how to use technology, and he's always on Facebook. He comes to work briefly, every now and then. I always know if he's serious because he's got his Birkenstocks on. And he gets on the phone, he says he's come to do work, gets on the phone, he's on Facebook, and he tells me, oh, look, I've got this great bargain. There's $800 worth of wood, and I've got it for $200. He only wants $200. But I rang him up and offered him $150. And the bloke, who was a pensioner, said, who hadn't got the pension that month, said, I'll take it. Pat's at home that night and he gets a phone call from this bloke and he goes, mate, you can have the wood. Come and take it away. Come and take the bloody stuff. Oh, have you seen the dog around here? Billy? Isn't he a beautiful dog? The best dog. Anyway, Billy, who's a Labrador and loves a bit of a feed, goes down the beach with Pat, sees a fish laying on the beach, grabs it and scoffs it. It just happens to be attached to someone's fishing line. It's got three massive shark hooks in it. And Billy, it goes into his throat, stuck inside him, and Pat goes, oh shit, I've got all these vet mates here, so he rings them all up. What'll I do? And they go, take him to Murdoch, get an x-ray, and they get an x-ray, and it's like, oh no, it's going to cost you 30 grand to fix this dog. It's going to cost you 30 grand and the dog will probably die. Oh, Pat's going, shit. That doesn't sound like a gold nugget, does it? What'll I do? I'll take it home and sleep on it. Next morning he wakes up, Billy's laying there. There's 3 fish hooks, no fish left on it, sitting on the ground. And bugger me dead, the dog has shattered out overnight. But attached to the end of the fish hook is another little nugget. That one's worth 30 grand. Oh, is your neighbour, here's Deb here?
No, she's not.
Oh, Deb's not here, that's good. I can tell this story. I'll tell this. Pat used to own the house next door. Beaten up old thing, he bought it for 15 grand in about 1980. 15,000. And he sold it a couple of years ago at the top of the market. I don't want to tell you how much, but I could have bought a house in Cottesloe for it. And I tell you what, the only work he did on was paint a couple of rooms, and he got his mates around to help him. And Sonia scrubbed the floor in the kitchen, and that was it. Here you go, Deb. No worries. I mean, we may as well tip the whole bag out. We may as well tip the whole bloody bag of nuggets out. Here you go, mate.
Thanks for that.
And I've got to tell you, I'm a bit of a gold nugget for Pat. I met him 8 years ago, and it didn't quite work like this, but I'm going to tell this story. He goes, oh, I've got this great workshop for you, mate. Oh, really? I'm looking for a workshop. Okay, mate, I'll take it. So I take the workshop. It's a little bit overpriced, but that's cool. I'm good with that. I'm good with that. I have to get the power upgraded, and I have to build the fence in between us. And every time for the past 5 years, whenever Pat wants something, don't go to Bunnings. Walk down through to my workshop and go, Doco, have you got this? And inevitably, I do. And I hand it over. I go, here you go, mate. Take that. And you go, geez, Doco, you're better and you're cheaper than Bunnings. But you may laugh, and on a more serious note, the beautiful house that he's here with the beautiful family, you may not know, but the main sewerage line of Fremantle is running under there.
It's all built on shit.
It's built on shit. And every night, Pat screens that shit. Because he is always hoping that there's going to be another Gold Nuggets Gaffney out there, and he's going to be onto him.
Well done. Oh, it's fucking brilliant.
Thanks, mate. Oh, this is your shirt.